Am I the asshole for telling my husband to stop ruining my daughter's career? I have a daughter who is 16. Since she was 14 she has been modeling and acting. My daughter and I had talked about her taking jobs when she was in middle school, but my husband would always say he didn't think it was ethical to put her to work. Finally, when she was 14, we had heart-to-heart talk with my husband where she told him that this was what she wanted to do. My husband finally said that he would allow it. However, after his approval, he turned full-on Papa Bear, and would insist on accompanying our daughter to each one of her jobs and staying the entire time. What's worse is that he'd ask a lot of questions to the people in charge on set, thinks he's entitled to veto power over which pictures are used, and never lets our daughter network with any of the people on set without standing next to her. I accompanied him to set once, and one of the people in charge said that a lot of good careers have been ruined by parents who are difficult to work with and don't trust in their teenagers to make their own decisions. Over the past year, my husband lost his job. He finally got a full-time position as a long-haul trucker. My daughter is back to booking jobs, and recently all her jobs have mostly fallen during periods where my husband would be away. My husband said to me to supervise my daughter, and I said okay. This past week I took her to a job and I felt like the person in charge didn't want parents standing around being nosy. I honestly didn't want my daughter to be known as the one with diva parents, so I left and picked her up after she was done. On Wednesday she has another job, but I want to pick up an after-hours shift at the store I work at helping the boss sort inventory, so I asked my daughter to get herself ready and drive herself there. My husband called me angry about this and started going through all the reasons I needed to be there. I finally snapped and told my husband that nobody gets ahead in any career with a parent breathing down their boss' neck, and that he was going to get her blackballed if he kept it. I told him that I for one wanted to go to my shift and asked that he consider ways to be a father that doesn't ruin his daughter's career. Am I the asshole? Everyone sucks here. You're the asshole for not realizing why he's so adamant about being involved. Have you seriously not heard of the Me Too movement? Or all the stories of child actors and models being groomed and molested by producers and photographers? Your daughter is a minor. There are millions of reasons that she would need the supervision of a parent near jobs in this industry. Your husband is only a gentle asshole in my opinion, because I think there are ways he can be present without interfering. You two need to compromise on this before you A. Ruin her chances at a great career, or B. Leave her in the hands of a dangerous situation. There is another option besides helicopter and completely absent. You sit quietly in an out-of-the-way area. If you have doubts about where out of the way is, ask the least important looking, least busy looking person you can find. And you sit and wait, but you are there. And if somebody asks her to do something that isn't okay or makes her uncomfortable, you go up to them and say, "Excuse me, she's only 16, because these people are used to working with adults and often forget." But you don't abandon a child in a sea of predators because you trust her judgment. She's a minor, she's not supposed to have final say. It sounds like your husband is going a little overboard, and should be communicating his concerns more clearly. But he has very valid reasons to be concerned about his teenage daughter being left alone on a job with people she doesn't know, who hold a huge influence over her career and potential success. You suck for being more worried about being labeled an annoying parent than making sure your daughter is safe and being treated appropriately. A part-time job at McDonald's? Of course you shouldn't be breathing down her neck. Modeling job is a different story. Plus you told your husband you would go with her, and then changed your tune once he was out of town. The modeling industry has a long history of predatory behavior. There should be absolutely no reason they have an issue with a parent being present unless they are dodgy. So I certainly understand his concerns. Maybe he is a little over the top, but his concerns are valid. One of the people in charge said that a lot of good careers have been ruined by parents who are difficult to work with and don't trust in their teenagers to make their own decisions. You are the asshole. This sounds exactly like something a predator that wants to be left alone to take advantage of 16-year girls would say. Of course you don't trust a 16-year to manage her career and navigate one of the most gross immoral industries in existence. I am actually surprised a parent or guardian isn't legally required to be there. In terms of modeling, as she is under 18, a parent, guardian should be present to sign the model release and for the purpose of safeguarding. No exceptions. Your daughter is a young girl working in an industry that is known for taking advantage of people in her position. There is a large potential for abuse of a minor in these situations. Your husband is just trying to protect her. Your focus should be on protecting your daughter. Her career is secondary. That being said, there are better ways to go about it than he is. He does need to back off a bit, but Imo, your teenage daughter should not be left alone with people who have a lot of influence, power over her and her career. You are the asshole. Your daughter is in a very high-risk environment for teenage girls. Huge. Your primary responsibility is to protect her and you are failing at it. Be her mother. Everyone sucks here. So many models are sexually assaulted and pressured into drugs, alcohol, self-esteem issues. There are major issues in the industry. I would really look into whether you want your kid to work in that industry. Also, 16 and already considering it a career. Your husband is overbearing about it. You are the asshole. As someone who has worked in Hollywood, you need to be with her all of the time. Setting aside how trustworthy and responsible the producer and cast are, there are plenty of people on set who aren't. Sound engineers, guided set tours, craft services, people are in and out all the time. Not all are above board. You're her advocate. Need to be a Karen? Be a fucking Karen. This industry can eat a girl alive. I've never had a problem with a silent parent anywhere but a soundstage or live performance. Plus, you need to make sure they're following her school assignments and stuff. There's literally no disadvantage to being a silent observer. McLovin's mom watched him fake losing his virginity in Superbad. It's cool for you to be at a photo shoot. Jesus fuck, as an adult woman in the film industry, I would never ever leave my teenage daughter alone on set. Get your head out of your ass. You are the asshole. Low-key, you are the asshole. I am very close with a successful model whose father died when she was 15. She went through some really horrible, terrible predatory experiences along the way, and when she cries about those things she always lands on, and my dad wasn't there to protect me. His heart is in the right spot, and he is not wrong about the industry. You are the asshole and he's a good parent. He's doing exactly what must be done for her to model safely. I agree with the other comments about dangers in your daughter's profession, especially since she's a minor. You and your husband need to find a happy medium between keeping her protected from predators, but not interfering with her ability to book jobs. No, but seriously, there are predatory people in that business. It's better to be safe than sorry. I totally get where both of you are coming from. You are the asshole. I live in a region known for lots of acting, modeling activity. The industry is crawling with creeps. One does not leave minors unchaperoned, and do not let them go to parties. As a parent, no need to be difficult. Be cheerful. Be polite. But don't leave her unsupervised. You are the asshole. What makes you think it's okay to leave a 16-year-old alone in an industry known for sexually abusing minors? I know a few former pro-child actors and models. Do you have any idea what they do to those kids? How they are treated? It's chilling, and it's why my friends are in therapy to this day. FFS, Google Dan Schneider. I am going to have to say you are the asshole in this case. You told him you'd be there and then left in one instance and didn't even take her in the other. As everyone has said, children in this industry are at risk. Your husband was over the top and will need to tone it down for her to be successful, but my guess he is over the top because of his concern and awareness of the shady things that happen. One of you should be with and find an out-of-the-way spot to quietly observe and only chime in when necessary, as other posters have shared. When that happens, a polite but firm, "She is only 16" should suffice. Imo, any set you get "no parent" vibes from are the ones you need to be NOST concerned about. Your husband is being a protective dad. Your daughter is a minor and in the modeling industry she needs someone to protect her from the creeps. Anyone who has an issue with parents being involved is not someone you want your daughter exposed to anyway. Normal people have no issue with parents being involved. You and your husband are both at the extremes of this issue. Your daughter is still a minor and may need some help advocating for herself if she is uncomfortable. Go with her. Make sure she's comfortable with the shoot and then find something else to do, like read a book. You can always leave later if you are both comfortable with what is going on. Most people are saying but I think you are the asshole. Modeling unfortunately can be a very risky job for minors because some producers tend to groom, molest kids. So what if your husband slightly embarrasses her? He wants his child to be okay. I don't have a strong opinion aside from be careful with these industries. Be present. Especially while she is underage. That is not being nosy. Her being safe is more important than you being seen as a diva parent. I don't think either of you are entirely wrong, so nah, but please for the lost of God do listen to her and be there to advocate for her. I'm going to go against the majority here and say you are the asshole. You told your husband that you would accompany her, and then went behind his back and did not. It sounds you never expressed your viewpoint that you both should give her more free rein. You just decided on your own knowing your husband thinks very much the opposite and then accused him of not being a good father when he was understandably upset you lied. Sounds like he loves your daughter very much and is worried for her safety as a minor. You should have a heart-to-heart about the expectations and boundaries of the industry. I'm sure he does care about her career. Too long did not read. Telling him he needs to stop ruining her career and be a good father is what sealed the "you are the asshole." You are the asshole. Maybe dad takes it a little too far with protectiveness, but you will never forgive yourself if your daughter gets me too ed, and neither of them will either. You are the asshole. I was actually on your side until I heard you left your daughter there and the reasoning you gave. Have you seriously not heard of all the young models who have been molested and groomed by directors, photographers, cameramen, scouts, agents, etc. as teenagers in that industry that have been coming out in the past few years? While it sounds like your husband might be over the top, his concern for your daughter's safety to me is a lot more appropriate than your concern for her career prospects. She's 16. She still has plenty of options and time as far as career choices go. Her safety should be your priority like your husband's. Really doesn't come off that way in your post. The modeling and acting industries are notoriously exploitative towards young girls, and you shouldn't leave her unsupervised as a minor. At the same time, he shouldn't be trying to take control to the extent of telling a photographer which photos should be used. You should take a middle approach where one parent is always with her but that parent is on the sidelines observing, and checking in if anything gets out of hand, not trying to run the show. You are the asshole. Your husband is looking out for your daughter because the industry she's trying to be in has a long and large history of child sexual abuse and getting these children into drugs and other terrible situations. There are hundreds of stories about this from child actors. You should be more concerned with your daughter's safety than her being famous or having a career in this industry. Have you ever wondered why they don't seem to want parents around? You are the asshole. Children need to be supervised when involved in an industry where child sexual abuse runs rampant. All of the famous actors and models that were abused had oblivious parents. Your husband is actually looking out for her, and all you care about is the success of her career. If something did happen to her, how would you live with yourself? YTA She's 14, don't leave her with strangers. You are the asshole. Look, I work in the entertainment world. The single biggest reason people warn parents to stay away is so they can con, groom and seduce the kid. It's never for the good of the kids' careers. Either go with her, or don't let her do this until you're both better educated and she has a reputable agent. Notice I didn't say, she's an adult. 18 isn't some magic number that protects people, it's more like a green light to do gross stuff with fewer consequences. Everyone's saying ESH, but I literally think YTA. Good on your husband for actually caring that your minor daughter isn't taken advantage of in the era of Me Too. Get some brains, woman, you left her alone with God knows who. She's a minor. She can't make decisions for herself, that's why the law doesn't allow her to vote. Get a backbone and stand up for your daughter. There's no issue with her wanting to model, but you not supervising makes you are the asshole. You are the asshole. This industry chews up children and young women and spits them out. I feel like I've seen moms like you on set and you make me sick. You are the asshole. You're a terrible and neglectful parent. Your husband is a better parent. You need to be around so people know you are watching out for your daughter. You need to be involved. Sure. Don't go telling photographers what to do or vetoing photos, but good lord. Thinking of you leaving your minor daughter so she can network makes me anxious. Especially if you're getting a vibe that they don't want you there. Stop being a Pollyanna and quietly accompany your daughter to every gig. Talk to your daughter often about what to do if she's uncomfortable and have backup plans if something goes wrong. I was a model at this age too. It's deeply concerning that the people organizing these jobs don't want a chaperone on the set. Even after I hit 18 I always had a chaperone, and even still I encountered with a couple of predators. You can't bring anyone was a massive red flag. I was 12 years old when the photographer for the pageant we were doing tried to get me half naked. I told my gran he was creepy and she never left me alone again. I was also 12 when a 16-year-old boy pulled my shorts down. This is not an industry you want to leave a 16-year-old alone in. A lot of these people are creeps. Most definitely you are the asshole. Your husband knows what's going on in these industries, and choosing to omit them as faceless hearsay doesn't make the terrible ways girls are groomed in the industry for paid sex any less true. Any agency that doesn't have millions in backing is just amateur trying to make a break for themselves, and all you sound like you're interested in is devaluing your husband's opinions when it comes to his God-given right to protect his child. Don't dare bring in, "Oh, but my judgment should matter." You gave up your right to an opinion the moment you discredited his. The fact he wants his daughter to do something more with her life than what comes with skating by on your looks. You should honestly feel a little shame at the end. If you don't, there's MAD issues. You are the asshole. Ask any actor in Hollywood who started as a child if they would recommend allowing your child to enter into this career. If you're going to allow her to, you need to be known as the parent who won't leave their child alone long enough to be exploited. There are documentaries about this subject. Thinking or assuming it won't happen to your daughter, or that the industry is past this, is being willfully ignorant given the amount of data available to you. You are the asshole. There needs to be a balance where you provide appropriate supervision and not be overbearing. If your daughter was truly promising, a parent in the room wouldn't stop a future employer from employing him. E.g., if Naomi Campbell's mum was there, I doubt her career would have bombed regardless. However, a parent there would stop an employer mentally, physically, sexually abusing your daughter. You are the asshole. You seriously believe that not being at all informed about and present is going to help her. It will help her be taken advantage of, and your husband absolutely is right. If she's working with a reputable company, they'll welcome the parental supervision. You are the asshole. Your daughter is in an environment that's very risky to young girls. She needs a parent to protect her. The fact that they don't want parents around should be a huge red flag for you. Going against the grain, you are the asshole. I highly question the way you describe your husband, and so while he might be a helicopter, you are borderline neglectful. You left your daughter in what could easily become a dangerous situation. You sound like you're more interested in having a model for a daughter than actually caring about her well-being. And if you think nothing bad could happen, you're part of the problem. You are the asshole. Child modeling is notorious for abuse. It isn't being super pushy or a diva to not leave your minor child alone in a situation that could become coercive or abusive. You are the asshole. You know your daughter is in a field that is ripe with potential abuse, and yet you just decided to forget that and let your daughter go and do it, with zero parental oversight. You are like the idiot who sees a wild animal and decides, "Hey, I'm gonna hug that bear." And get pissed when people tell you it's potentially dangerous. Yes, you are the asshole. You're leaving your underage daughter in a place known to harbor predators and abusers, because you want to be the cool, hands-off parent, and don't want to be bothered with being an advocate and safety net for your kid. Many other comments have gone into great details about all the reasons why you should be more concerned, and apparently aren't. Is your husband doing too much? Possibly, but given your handling of things, you're an unreliable narrator. Also, he seems to have good reason to be concerned. You are the asshole. Your daughter is 14 and working in an industry that's pretty notorious in taking advantage of people, especially the younger ones. You're just going to be there as a parent, not somebody breathing down your daughter's boss. And your husband has communication issues. I understand his trust issues with the people in the fashion business, and he could have communicated it better to you so you can have a better understanding. Edit. Sorry, I forgot she's 16 now, but still underaged. Oh my god, your daughter is 16 years old and does not need to be on a career path right now. Are you oblivious, or do you just not give a shit as to how young women are treated in the fashion, modeling industry? Why would you want that increased risk for your daughter? Your husband is smart for protecting her and not leaving her alone to network. WTF. You are the asshole. Try being a parent instead of being worried about a career that has a limited time frame. You should be protecting your daughter and asking questions. She's 14, and susceptible to abuse and exploitation. I honestly don't even understand why you'd be upset about your husband making sure she's safe and not being taken advantage of. She's young and excited and experiencing a lot of new things. Anyone could take advantage of her. She could not read a contract, she could let pictures go through that she doesn't want out there, she could be groomed. Any adult would understand that, and you should be extra worried about the people complaining that her parents are there. You are the asshole. You are supposed to be supervising. She is an underage girl and you are her mother. Read about what happens to a lot of child actors sometime. The ones who grow up unscathed had parents who acted like parents.